Hello and welcome to Camp, the Catholic Audiobook in a Month podcast. My name is William Wilson, and today is day 10 of The Little Way of Spiritual Childhood by Father Gabriel Martin. I will be reading Chapter 4, Section 2 on the practical consequences of the foundations mentioned in the last two episodes. This corresponds to page 34 through 38 in the paperback. We'll hear how confidence opens the floodgates of God's benefits, and how what He inspires me to ask is what He wills to give. If we obtain little, it is because we ask little. Also, all miracles in the Gospels are due to the confidence of the suppliants. But we are cautioned that one can sin by excess of confidence or presumption. Let's get started. Section 2. Practical Consequences. From the preceding principles spring several practical truths, which, reduced to axioms by our saint, must become familiar to every soul who undertakes to follow her in the little way. Here are a few of them. We have never too much confidence in the good God, so good. We obtain from the good God quite as much as we hope for. What offends Jesus, what wounds him to the heart, is want of confidence. It is confidence, and confidence alone, that must lead us to love. Let us dwell a little on these thoughts. This will not be to retard our progress. Our soul, on the contrary, will there find strong wings to enable her to fly even unto God. We have never too much confidence in the good God, so good. The reason is that God is infinite in riches, in greatness, in power, as in love. He can give again, give always and ever liberally, and do so for centuries, and after that there will remain to him no less to give. For though he should pour down torrents of his gifts and graces, he loses not the smallest particle of his infinite perfections. He remains afterwards what he was before, infinite. It is his glory to be able to give without measure, and it is his joy to give in reality all that his creatures can or will receive of his gifts. The more they ask him, the more he loves to give. But if in one of these creatures regenerated by baptism, the good God sees a Christian, his child, if in this Christian he sees a soul who lays claim to nothing on this earth other than to please him and to love him, what limits will he put to his generosity? The heart of the good Master asks but to be opened to let the flood of his benefits flow out. And what opens it is confidence, above all the simple and daring confidence of a child. It is not with God as with us. We very quickly weary of giving. He never does. We soon consider importunate whoever pursues us with demands. The more we ask of the good God, the better is he pleased. There are graces, too, that we scarcely dare ask for, because to us they appear too great. But that which in relation to us is the greatest is always very small in relation to God. So it greatly honors him to measure our petitions by his greatness, instead of by our nothingness, and in all our prayers to let the inspiring thought be of what he is, rather by far than of what we ourselves are. That is what Saint Therese did. She thought, "The good God never gives desires which cannot be realized. What he inspires me to ask of him is then that which he wills to give me." Again, she said to herself that little children have a right to be daring with their beloved parents. "My excuse," she wrote in speaking of a prayer she had made and which might appear rash, "my excuse is my title of child." Children do not reflect on the import of their words. Nevertheless, if their fathers or mothers ascend the throne and are possessed of immense treasures, they do not hesitate about gratifying the desires of the little ones whom they cherish more than themselves. To give them pleasure, they squander money, they descend even to weakness. Animated by these sentiments, she fears not to ask for herself the perfection of pure love. She forms, besides, immense desires vast as the universe, of which the realization will extend down the ages even to eternity. And having formed them, she dares to cry out in the simplicity of her confidence that the Lord will work wonders for her which will infinitely surpass her immense desires. Events have justified her confidence. Her mission, confirmed by so many prodigies, bears testimony to it. And is not this the most convincing proof of the truth of her words, "We have never too much confidence in the good God, so good"? In truth, a remark here forces itself upon us, and these words call for an explanation. For one can sin by excess of confidence or presumption. And he would sin by presumption who, while wishing to continue to live in sin or in tepidity, should consider himself nevertheless as assured of salvation, or of attaining to perfection, on condition of supplying for his bad will by the excess of his confidence. To act so would be to fall into a very grave practical heresy, and that is certainly not what we wish to say. On the contrary, we suppose a well-grounded good will, and one of those souls, of whom there are many, who still far from perfection unite to sincere desires of being all for God many imperfections and failures. It happens to them to fail in their resolutions and to yield to their faults. They fall, but deep down their will to sanctify themselves perseveres, and they are always in the disposition to work at it seriously. It is to them we say that they may give free scope to their confidence. We even say that they should not content themselves with feeble desires, but proportion these to their needs, which are extreme, and to the divine liberality, which is infinite. If we obtain so little from the good God, it is because we ask too little. Our Lord affectionately reproached his disciples with that, "Hitherto you have not asked anything in my name. Ask, and you shall receive, that your joy may be full. If you ask the Father anything in my name, he will give it you." But we must ask. To ask we must desire, we must hope, have confidence that we shall obtain. It is our lack of confidence which hinders the heart of the good God from freely expanding. Just as that of the inhabitants of Nazareth in like manner hindered Jesus from pouring out upon them his prodigies of love and his graces as he would have desired. All the miracles of the Gospels are due to the confidence of the suppliants. Where it abounded, they multiplied. When it declined, they diminished. When it vanished, they too disappeared. Therefore, when blessed little Therese tells us that we obtain from the good God quite as much as we hope for, this is no novelty that she teaches. Her words are the very echo of the gospel and of 20 centuries of faith. We obtain from the good God quite as much as we hope for. Was not Jesus also continually repeating, "Have faith, have confidence in God. All is possible to him that believeth. He that believeth in me, the works that I do, he also shall do, and greater than these shall he do." It is not surprising, after all this, that our saint should be able to say, "What offends Jesus, what wounds him to the heart, is want of confidence." That's all for today. I hope you enjoyed the reading. Tomorrow I will read the rest of Chapter 4 on particular applications of confidence in God. If you have enjoyed today's podcast, please subscribe, rate, share, and help us grow. Also, please check out oratebooks.com for a paperback or Kindle version of this book. That's oratebooks.com. To learn more about us and for past episodes, please visit camp.fm. Thanks for listening, and I'll see you tomorrow.